In this episode, I'm gonna give you an honest review and feedback of these two polishers that I'm really enjoying right now. I'll talk to you about why I like them, what I don't like about other polishers, one polisher I don't recommend from that line of polishers that they have, and just give you overall look and insight into that polisher. This isn't a super technical, I'm gonna open up the housing and show you every single, no, I'm just an average user. I open it out of the box and I start using it. And if you're a detailer that's looking to start their detailing business and you wanna follow a blueprint to execute on sales, marketing, pricing, and everything on the business side of detailing, then check out Detailers Growth Academy down below. This is where I show you all the trainings and insights to actually running a business, to creating your own website using Squarespace, to optimizing your website for SEO, to optimizing your Google business profile, to knowing your numbers and understanding the pricing and understand how to actually be profitable. If you are focused on growing a detailing business, then click the link down below and check out Detailers Growth Academy. So there's two polishers that are really standing out to me right now that I'm really enjoying, and they're from a brand called ShineMate. And I actually wasn't aware of this brand until they reached out to me. So I've been having some of these ShineMate polishers now for over probably over a year and a half now, and I'm just not talking about them. So I personally use these. I use them in all areas of correction, polishing. I use some of these for the interior. So I can give you true feedback on what I think about these polishers and if I think you should get them. And I'll just tell you right now, they're really solid and I do recommend them. Now, I'm not being paid by them. This is not a sponsored post. The links I have down below are not affiliates. They sent these over like probably a year and a half now. And I'm just not making a video of them because I truly was using them and making sure that they're actually good. So we have quite a bit of polishers. I used to be a very big Grizz Garage fan. I purchased all of their first version of all the polishers that they had. And then when those died out after so many years, I started purchasing their newer ones, the G15, the GG, the new ones. And unfortunately with those, they simply just didn't pack the same power as the first version of all the polishers. And it was a downer because my favorite polisher to this day is the first GG6 they came out with. Like, that's still one of my favorite polishers of all time. But with the new polishers, they're kind of weaker, and then they just bog down so easily. And that's the part that really kind of kills the flow of what you're doing, is how easily they bog down. And we had a few other polishers, and again, we have some Max Shine, we have a Milwaukee, we have DeWalt, Rotor, we have bits of different polishers. We have the Flex 3-inch. And one part that really kills it for me is just it bogging down. And I'll show you more here in a bit. And this isn't going to be like a super technical, I'm going to open the housing and I'm going to show you all the details. No, I'm just going to use it as a normal person would. This is the polisher, no modifications. I'm going to work on the paint. So with this one, it reminds me of what I like so much about the grits. Just, it's not grits anymore. Because it's strong, there's not much vibration. Obviously there's gonna be vibration, just not much vibration, not crazy vibration, and then it doesn't bog down. Like, I could just turn this on and we're gonna get going. Now, in terms of based on what I'm doing, I'll flip-flop between maybe I'm gonna use the Milwaukee M18 15mm throw cordless, the one right here. I'll use this one a lot, and this one will kind of be my default polisher. But if I'm gonna do like a long session, or I don't wanna worry about batteries, or maybe the batteries aren't fully charged, I'm more than happy to grab the ShineMate 15mm throw. And it doesn't bog down. Like, that's probably my number one feature on this, is that it doesn't bog down. Obviously, if you're on a very curved panel, or you're trying to get into a very recessed area, it'll bog down. But in terms of like getting the job done for what I wanted to do as a dual action polisher, as a 15mm throw, it gets the job done. And even the 9mm throw, this reminds me, like, the reason why I like this one so much is because it reminds me of the first version of the Grizz Garage 6-inch polisher. Like, every time I turn it on, I'm like, this is what I missed. My favorite polisher was the GG6, the first version. This reminds me of that. Now, we're not gonna grab this all the time because obviously, like, if we have a 15, we'll use a 15 to cut to do a wider cut. But whenever we do need this, and whenever it does make sense, and whatever we're doing with this, I'm happy to grab this one. Like, I'm very, very happy using this one. Like, it gives me the exact same feel as the first version of the Grits Garage. So it does its job. Like, I'm super, super happy about these. We're gonna purchase another one of these because I'm very happy about these. We're also gonna purchase another Milwaukee M18, and we're also gonna purchase another rotary. So we're gonna purchase a few more tools, but I'm super satisfied with this one. So I'll just turn it on and let you guys see how it works, see how it sounds. Like, I just grabbed this pad because it was right there. The goal of this is not to correct the paint. It's just to show you the machine, how it operates, and just kind of give you a more practical look of how it works. So I'm gonna just spread it around, work a little bit, remove it. Again, the goal here, I'm not trying to remove the correction. That part's kind of irrelevant at this point. So as you can tell, there's a bit of a soft start. Some people like that, some people don't. To me, it makes no difference in terms of, like, this doesn't really make or break it, but it does have a really soft start. So I press the full trigger and then it's gonna slowly ramp up. So we're gonna spread it around. It also does have a locking button. Turn it up to 5, 4.5. I'm basically using no pressure. Like, it's just floating right now. Like, I'm literally not grabbing it. It's just floating right now. I'm gonna put a little bit down pressure now. Now, if you notice, like on this part here, there's a little bit of a curved section right here. To some DA polishers, it'll bog down right there. And you might be saying, oh, it's such a small little curve. No, some DA polishers will bog down in this little section right here, which is why, like, I kept on looking for more polishers, because like that's very, very annoying that you can't even get over this one little section right here. And with this one, when I turn it on, it still continues to cut, meaning it still rotates. It doesn't bog down easily. So I'm on 4.5 right now. I'm gonna turn it on and I'm gonna go over this little curved section and it's still gonna rotate. So it follows that same theme across other panels. Like if I'm working on this curved panel right here on this fender, it doesn't bog down. Again, the more extreme you push it and like you're trying to really get in there and the pad's no longer flat, and you know, like at that part, yeah, you're kind of pushing its limits in terms of what it can do. But like that's all DA polishers, right? Because all of them have to be flat on the surface in order for them to keep on rotating, because you don't want to strain it too much where you're gonna force it to bog down. So that's, you know, obviously the more you push it, it'll bog down, or you'll get less cut due to like the way you're positioning it and how much pad is on the surface and how it's rotating. But even this right here, like this is what you want from a DA polisher, that is going to keep on cutting even if it's on a curved section. Now they also do have a cordless polisher. Now what we really use this is just for like the application of wax or sealant on the paint. or maybe like cleaning the headliner on the interior. Reason being is like, I would say like, it's great that it has a dial, because if you look at the Adams polisher or the SPTA polisher or kind of these like lower end polishers, is that they typically just have 3 settings: low, medium, high. And high is typically too high, low is typically too low, and the medium is not exactly, like if it can go up 2 more notches would be great, but like medium, just it's also not there. So you can't really like fine tune the speed that you need in order to do whatever that you want to do. So with this one, at least they do have a dial here. The issue with it though is that like anything less than speed 6 simply lacks the power, and you'll take way more time trying to cut like on speed 5, because like it just, the power and the rotation isn't really there. So that's how we kind of relegated this one to just like application of wax or a headliner interior cleaning, because for heavy correction and even polishing, it's simply just not there for us. I don't know how well it'll pick up, but on speed 6, it gets the job done. Now, if I just bump this down to 5, it like dramatically takes a turn, and like it doesn't really look like it's cut. Can you even see me? It doesn't really feel like it's cutting, and like you're gonna spend more time going doing a slower pass in order to compensate for the lack of power. It also bogs down a little easier, which again, for if you're going through a cutting phase, you don't really want that. You just want to be able to cut. So that's why with this one, like unless it's on speed 6, it's not really doing the cutting. Now then you might say, oh, well, just keep it on speed 6. I mean, yeah, but then like it's the loudest, it's vibrating the most. And then a big part of when you're going cordless is that, well, now you're gonna go through batteries. And let's say you're like, oh, well, I have 2 batteries and a charger. It's like, okay. But again, if you have to keep it on speed 6, if it's outputting the most power, it's gonna drain the battery the fastest. And then over time, like, you know, we buy the Milwaukee, that's cordless. You buy this ShineMate, it's cordless. You buy a cordless DeWalt. You buy a cordless whatever the polishers. And now you have 4 different brands with 4 different types of batteries, with 4 different types of charging ports, that now it's like, well, which one do you buy more batteries of, right? That's why when it comes to cordless, it helps to stay within one brand, just because you can buy the same battery over and over and keep on using that and keep on building out your stack, versus like, hey, I have 3 of these, 2 of those, 4 of those, 3 of these. That's like the part, that's the downside of cordless, is that you just got to be mindful of what you're buying, so that way you don't keep on dumping more and more money into just batteries, because batteries aren't cheap either. So that's another downside. Like I wouldn't want to purchase, like, again, if we kept on using the Adams polisher and the SPTA polisher, and we had the Flex polisher, all those use different batteries, and then you add this one and you add that one, like then you're just carrying so many batteries. So that's another downside of this cordless. Just it does help to choose one brand of batteries for your polishers. That way you spend less money and get more bang for your buck. So now let me demo you the 9mm throw. Same section, same everything, but you'll see how like it doesn't bog down, it's strong, and it gets the job done. So right now I'm gonna put it on speed 4, just spread that around real quick. Again, the goal here is not, are you correcting the paint? I just want you to see the polisher itself. So that's on speed 4, which is the equivalent of like speed 6 on the cordless polisher. So now, just for example purposes, let's bump it up to 5.5 and see how that looks. So overall, those two specific polishers are fantastic for paint correction polishing. Again, I've been using it now for over a year and a half, and they work great. I have no issues with them. Obviously, there's always going to be some nuance with any tool that you use, but I think they are fantastic. And, you know, relative to the cordless one, you know, you can use it for something else. I personally wouldn't use it for correction or polishing. Now, in terms of like the value of them, like for instance, like I always get asked, like, hey, what do you think about this Rupes? Are you gonna purchase this Rupes? Are you gonna get this Rupes? I've never used a Rupes. I don't plan on buying a Rupes. I don't recommend anyone else buying a Rupes, just because for the price that it is, you can get the same value at a much more affordable price with other brands like the Milwaukee, like the ShineMate, versus a premium price tag on that Rupes. And if I'm not mistaken, they've had so many callbacks and so many issues with their other Rupes. I'm like, I'm okay. I'll purchase a rotary from Rupes, but all those other polishers, I'm just not, the price tag, I'm just not really into all that. Yes, it's Italiano, but just not really happy with those. I don't really see the value in those. So with these ones, with the Milwaukee, and I think the Milwaukee one, it used to be like $280. It's now gone up to like $320, $340 now, like just the polisher itself. So the prices are going up. But I think for the price tag of these, I think it's a great value. And again, we use them for correction and polishings when we need to use them. So if you have any specific questions about the polishers, or I don't know, whatever else you have, you can leave them down below, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.